Our politics have failed us. Our leaders on both sides of the aisle are making things worse for us every year, not better. And the proof is all around us. Take a look at America today. Look at the brink of economic collapse our government has led us to, and tell me we're busy living the American dream. We're not. We're busy getting deeper into debt. We're busy losing the freedom that so many have given their lives to achieve. Thomas Jefferson said it was our patriotic duty to stage a revolution every generation just to kick out the riffraff. Jefferson understood politics and politicians perfectly. We do need a revolution in this generation, an armed rebellion. Let's arm ourselves with common sense. Let's stop the spending. Let's live within our means. This is our America. Let's not hand future generations a bankrupt nation. Let's take care of our own house. Let's lead the world by setting an example of what life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness really means. In 1994, I became Republican governor of New Mexico. New Mexico was 2-1 Democrat, and I was re-elected for a second term. I'd never been involved in politics prior to getting elected. I'm an entrepreneur who grew a one-man handyman business in 1974 to employ over 1,000 employees in 1994. My promise was to bring a common-sense business approach to state government. Best product, best service, lowest price. I promised to put the issues that should be on the front burner, regardless of the political consequences. For 2 terms, I put issues first and politics last. I did a surprisingly good job at bringing a common sense approach to all the issues faced. I cut the historical rate of government growth in half, and how did that happen? Well, I vetoed over 750 bills, and I had thousands of line item vetoes. I took line item vetoes to a new art form. This is arguably, might not be the case, but it's arguably more than the 49 other governors in the country combined. And what was the result? You know, I'm going to argue that state government worked for the citizens of New Mexico instead of the other way around. Care to know the secret of my success? And I'm calling it success. I told the truth, I did what I said I was going to do, and I approached every new challenge from a position of reality. In the process, I discovered that good government isn't hard, it's easy. There are 535 members of Congress, including the United States Senate. The reality is that they're doing us more harm than good. The proof is all around us. Our nation has never been less secure, less economically vital, less optimistic about our future. When it comes to Congress, we should probably give every one of those 535 members $1 billion a year to stay home and do nothing. We would save trillions. But that wouldn't solve our problems. And what will solve our problems? We have to start expecting more from our leaders. Expecting leaders that will put people before politics. Expecting leaders that will advance the cause of liberty and protect the public interest from private greed. Imagine our elected officials getting into office, providing their service to our country, and then getting out again. I know that's possible because that's my experience. Imagine an America where our rights are protected. The government has an obligation to provide a level playing field for all of us to live and prosper. That's government's job. But that's the job government is not doing. The economy in this country is in tough shape. The government should do everything it can to promote a strong dollar, not a weak one. The government should do everything it can to ensure free markets. Imagine K through 12 education in this country if educational entrepreneurs were unleashed to provide a better educational product and service. Did I mention that as governor of New Mexico, I was more outspoken than any governor in the country regarding school choice? For 6 years, I proposed giving every student in the state of New Mexico a voucher that would have brought competition to public education. Imagine the government blowing the lid off supply when it comes to health care. Best product, best service, lowest price. Free market reforms. Health care reform, not insurance reform. The national debts have declared $12 trillion, and it's due to double in the next 10 years to $24 trillion. I realize I'm rounding off here. Did you see where we have $55 trillion now in unfunded liabilities going forward? And of course, we're talking about Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid. Stop the spending. I couldn't be more opposed to tax increases, and that's exactly what's going to happen. As governor of New Mexico, I discovered that legislators spend the money you give them, and if you give them more, they just spend more. In the case of our federal government, they're spending money that we don't even have. We are in for a series of tax increases in this country if people don't stand up and say something about it. Cap and trade, 25% increase in energy prices overnight by taxing carbon emissions. Yikes. The government has an obligation to provide a strong national defense. We all support and appreciate the courage and dedication of all the men and women that serve this country in the armed forces. We're currently at war with Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda, and that should be our focus. I was opposed to invading Iraq before we went in. I believe that we had the